Hey YouTubers, welcome back to the channel. It's that van guy again with another weekly video. Today we're going to be going through a box of vans that I bought as a lot from a fellow van collector who was getting out of collecting. And he collected one casting that was the same as I do. And he had a couple ones that I didn't have. And I have a pretty extensive collection already. Here's the box. They're all nicely wrapped. I'm not even sure how many are in here, but we're going to go through them all, and we'll kind of together we'll compare some of the ones that I have for my personal collection with some of the ones here in this collection that I bought, this lot. It's a Corgi casting, and it's also a Hot Wheels casting. It's the Hot Rod Custom Van by Corgi, and then eventually it was bought by Mattel, and it became Hot Wheels. So we're just going to start unwrapping them, and I do have a lot of these, but some of them I don't, like I said. But we're going to be comparing these to some of the ones that I have, because there might be some slight variations. We're going to try to hunt for any differences or variations, and also we're going to be up trading any vans that are ones that maybe the ones in my collection are a little bit banged up or in a played with condition, and the ones he has from his collection are like mint. I'll be trading up and taking his if they're in nicer condition than mine, and then maybe selling the ones that I have or trading them to other van collectors. Now, the wheels on this casting, this Hot Rod Custom Van, is, give you a little shot of the base. You can see the, hopefully I'll try to catch it in the light so you can read it. It says Corgi, and then it says Hot Rod Custom Van. It's the name of the casting. Some of them were made in Great Britain. Let's see if I can try to get it to focus. Some of them were made in Great Britain. I think this one says Great Britain. And some of them were made in like China or Hong Kong. And I have a video on these already on my channel, like a casting spotlight of these. And I think these are just the Corgi ones. I don't think he owned any of the Hot Wheels ones. And I have all of the Hot Wheels ones, including a couple variations. So we're going to go through these, and I'll get out my jammer with my collection in it, and we'll just do some comparing, up trading. And we're going to see if we can figure out together what's the difference. Is there a variation? Is there not a variation? I guess a couple of these in his collection here are Hot Wheels. I'll try to be careful so they don't get scratched up. I'm not even sure how many there are here, but I know he had a few that I didn't have. So that's why I bought the whole collection. I just figured maybe there's, I'm sure I'll have doubles. But, if his are in better shape than mine, I'll just replace the ones in my collection. Or I can possibly resell or trade. Because this guy really took awesome care of his stuff, and they all seem to be in pretty mint shape. One more here. Now this one is definitely going to be one that I know is better than the one that I have. Let's just take a look at these. I'll zoom in on the turntable here, and I'll give them all a quick whirl so you can check them out. Let me just get zoomed in here. Okay, here's the first one. Police Tactical Force. This one's fairly rare. Never seen it for sale on eBay in the United States. I had to pay some big money to get the one that I have, just because shipping was a lot, because I had it shipped from a van collector in Australia, because this is one I didn't have, and she had one like this. It was a little bit banged up, and I asked her if I could have it because I collect this casting, and it was one I didn't have, and she's like, sure, I'll help you out. And I got some other stuff from her, but it was a little bit banged up. I think she found it at like maybe a Goodwill or like a thrift store. So it wasn't played with condition, but this one looks mint. I don't really see much at all, like any damage, or the paint is not chipped at all. Corgi Hot Rod Custom Van. See, it says made in Great Britain. This one's in really nice shape. I don't see any package rub or damage. I'll grab my jammer here and show you the one I have. This is the one I had in my personal collection. You can see this one is a lot rougher, a lot more paint chips and more in played with condition. So this one is a score. This is definitely an upgrade. So this, and actually the sticker looks a hair more yellowed, the white sticker on the side. So that's a bonus. There's one that I can upgrade my collection. So this one will go for sale or trade, and the better one will go into my personal collection. Next up, we'll check out this one. This white one with the colored red, white, and blue flags on it. British and American flags. That one looks like it's in pretty nice shape. On the driver's side front fender, I'm not sure if it's just got some goop on it or if it has a paint touch-up. Let me just check mine to compare. Mine looks like it's in pretty nice shape too. If you look at the front fender, I'm not sure if it's dirty or if it's got a little paint issue. Paint might be touched up here. Here's the one from my collection. This one's in pretty nice shape. The Tampo design on this one around the wheel well was a little bit problematic on both the versions I just bought and this one. Looks like this one might have a very small chip on the front chin spoiler in the front. Maybe a small little spot on the body on the side. But it's hard to tell if that nose. I'll have to see if I can clean it, if it's touched up with paint or if it's just some dirt. So those are pretty close there. Next up, we got a couple of yellow ones with a black stripe. I have this one as well, but it looks like his are in a little bit better shape than mine. There's actually two. Two in his collection that I bought. He had some doubles, so there might be a slight variation. Looks like this one has a slight paint chip or blemish in the front lip spoiler. But other than that, it looks pretty good. We'll compare the bases. See if the bases are different at all. They both look like they're painted metal to me. Hot Rod Custom Van. Here's his second one. Looks like it's a pretty nice shape. I don't see any paint blemishes at all. So that's really cool. This one is the one that I had in my collection. A little bit banged up. Played with conditions. So there's another score. We got a trade up there. Replacing a better version into my collection. So we got that. Next up, let's see, we got a couple of these black Vans with a pink stripe, which I already have. Looks like he had a pair. Oof, careful. And I think there's just a paint stripe color variation. I think the stripe is a little bit lighter pink on this one. And then I'm going to maybe set this on top if it'll stay. And then maybe you can see the difference in the color. It's kind of hard to tell on camera. The top one looks like it's just a hair darker or more faded. The bottom one looks like it's slightly like a brighter pink. But the wheels look the same to me. It looks like they have the same windshield color, unless the one on the bottom is more of a blue and the one on top is more of a black. But that just could be the way the light is hitting it. But the wheels look the same. Stripes look the same. Base pretty much looks the same. I don't really see much of a difference. So these are in nice shape. Let's take a look at the one I have from my collection. Might have got one mint blister pull. This is the one in my collection, and it looks fairly mint as well. Looks like the base and the wheels are pretty much the same. If you guys see any differences, let me know in the comments, because I'm going to hang on to these for a little while before I trade them. But this one seems like it's in really nice shape. Although there is a little, looks like maybe some rough paint or paint corrosion towards the top of the van on mine. So maybe I will trade out one of these. Hard to tell, you really need to study them to figure out which one is the better one when you got 3 different versions and they all look fairly clean. Alright, I'll just set that one aside. Okay, next up we got, this is a team racing one, and I think I can see a difference, a slight difference in the tempo. It's got a lot of sponsorships on the side, but on the bottom, on the rear, if you look, one says custom van and one says Goodyear. Let's see if I can get zoomed in here. See underneath the 15, one says Goodyear and one says custom van. Also on the rear quarter, you can see right here there's a little red sticker. Down here there is not one. So slight tempo variation. Generally, I'm not really a variation collector. It also looks like the top one is a metal base and the bottom one is a plastic base. but you can see again, it's got that red and white sticker on the bottom. There is not one on the bottom van. Red and white decal there, no red and white decal there. And one says Goodyear and one says Custom Van. Now we'll look at the bases. We can see one is a metal base and one is a plastic base. So those are two variations. Now I did have this one. Okay, next up we'll check out this release. Looks like we got two different versions. It looks like one might be possibly a plastic base and one might be a metal base. This one looks like it's the plastic base. Auto Sport 92. It's like a two-tone purple. This one is a plastic base. And then we have this one, which is a metal base. I think the tampos are the same. I think it's just the base variation. Same wheels. One is a metal base. One is a plastic base. And this one looks like it does have a little bit of playwear on it. But here's the one from my collection that was also a metal base. And you can see mine has a little bit more playwear. A couple chips in the front and a lot of tampo damage on both sides in the flag area. Lots of little paint marks or something. And a bunch of chips in the front. So another score. Another trade up. This one can go in the trade bin. Okay, next one we'll check out is this plastic base. SWAT police van. This is the one from the lot I purchased. Looks like it's in real nice shape. I think the one that I purchased one on eBay, and it was a mint blister pull. I took it out of the packaging. So mine might be a hair better than this one. Here's mine from my collection. Looks like his might have had a slight chip in the paint on the back where the white meets the black in the back. So I think the one I have is slightly better. But they both look like they're plastic bases, so we'll keep that. Alright, next up we got two different Coca-Cola Vans. Coca-Cola Turbo Racing Team. Looks like the wheels are the same. Might be a windshield variation. The windshield looks slightly blue to me on this red one. And this other one, the windshield kind of looks black. Looks like a darker side window, wouldn't you say? Looks like it's a window variation. One is black and one is blue. That one's pretty easy to see. Now let's take a look at the one I have in my personal collection. And it looks like I have the blue version. Coca-Cola. And mine's in pretty nice shape. Doesn't look like it's got much for any chips or damage. So this blue one looks like it's slightly rougher condition than mine. So I'm going to keep this one. And the blue tinted windshield version can stay in my collection. Now I have the variation. Next up we got this Fuji Team Film Racing. Fuji Team Fujifilm Racing version in plastic base. Got this one from my buddy Ethan, and he got it from, this one is from the lot sale. And here is the one that I got from my friend Ethan Weller, also a plastic base version, but you can see this one, he found it at Goodwill, so you can see it's a lot more chipped up, a lot more played with condition. So there's a score, there's an upgrade. Gonna keep that one. I don't think there's any variation at all that I can see. They look the same. Window colors look the same. Wheels look the same. Base looks the same. So that's a score. Upgrade. Let's see. Here's a fairly common. We'll go through a couple of the Hot Wheels ones. This one's probably one of the most common Hot Wheels ones. This is the Chuck E. Cheese promo. Really cool version because I really like the purple color on this one and the flames. And I believe the one that I have from my collection is a fresh blister pull. I don't think it has any packaged rub or damage. Ooh, this one might be a variation. I just discovered that this Chuck E. Cheese van that was in my collection, you can see it has the Chuck E. Cheese guy on it. I don't know if that was added, because it almost feels like it's an extra sticker. Like they stuck the sticker on the body. Not real sure about that, but here's the one from my collection. And it doesn't have Chuck E. Cheese on it anywhere. It just says Chuck E. Cheese. So I'm not sure if it came that way with Chuck E. Cheese on it, or if someone stuck that little sticker on there. Not really sure. I might have to hang on to both versions just in case. Interesting. You know, this being a Hot Wheels, it probably is listed in the Hot Wheels variations in the one of the Hot Wheels variations books. Here's another Hot Wheels version. This is a J.C. Whitney version. This is the only version ever released of the Hot Rod Custom Van Corgi or Hot Wheels that has Real Rider rubber tires. I believe it's got the plastic gold base and gold colored wheels, and it does have Real Rider rubber tires with tread. Not a big fan of the gold. Kind of wish it was chrome or silver instead. But it's a very cool version and probably one of the most detailed and the coolest because it's got rubber tires on it. That's a pitfall of this Corgi casting, is a lot of the wheels are kind of on the cheesy side. They're kind of like cheap looking wheels. That's what makes Hot Wheels so cool, is that they use better looking, more realistic wheels. I already had this one. Here's the one for my collection. I know it's a mint blister pull. Pretty much the same. So this one's really cool, so I might just hang on to a second one and keep both. Gonna have to get a bigger jammer or display case for these though. Alright, next up, let's see, we got a couple of these Vantastics. Black with looks like a blue windshield, and it's got the Vantastic graphics on it with a simulated porthole on the side. Now I believe the difference is the base. This particular version has kind of a chrome looking metal base, and then the second version has like a darker black, almost like anodized looking base. So it's like a metal base, but it kind of has like a black clear coat over it or something. It kind of looks black. So I think there's the difference between these two is colored base variation. You can kind of see in the bumper, the one on the right, the bumper just looks darker. It doesn't look as silver. It's kind of like a darker metal. So maybe it's got some sort of clear coat or something on it. If you come around on the side here, the side pipe should look a little darker. A little bit darker metal than this chrome version. Kind of hard to tell. Something that you kind of have to be probably in person to really see the difference. Here's the one I had from my collection, and it also kind of has like a dark finish, although the finish seems like it's kind of coming off, or it's kind of spotty. But the van itself is in really nice shape. I think this one was another mint blister pull. So you got those two. Base variation. Let's see what else we got next. Alright, let's take a look at this yellow 4WD or four-wheel drive. It's a black painted base, which is kind of odd. And we'll compare it to the one that I have and see which one is in nicer shape. Looking at mine now, it looks fairly perfect. Pretty nice mint blister pull. Stripe looks about the same. Graphics. Both have the black base. Although mine does have a little bubble in the paint on the driver's door. Let's take a look at the graphics in the front. The black. This black is pretty well done. Let me just set mine on top. If it'll stay, hopefully, without scratching. I'll zoom out just a hair. Now when it comes around, you'll see on the driver's side door, on the one on the top, it's got a little bit of a paint bubble. Or it could be some casting slag that was painted over the top. It's got a little bubble in the door, and it's got a tiny little chip on the fender above the wheel. So I guess the one from the new one I bought looks a little bit better than the one that I have. So I don't see any other difference. They both are black painted metal base. Hot Rod Custom Van, made in Great Britain. So I think I'm going to ditch the one with the flaw on the door and keep the one that has the mint door. So there's an upgrade. I thought all mine were good until I compared them to somebody else's, I guess. These are really cool. These are two ones that I did not have. And pretty much the reason I bought the whole lot, because I'm not really variation collector. Never seen this one in any pictures or anywhere for sale. The only time I've ever seen this picture, a picture of this one is like a bright reddish orange with no tampo design. Was on the Hobby DB website, Hobby Database website. When you look up the Corgi Hot Rod Custom Van, there is a reddish orange one shown. But I wasn't sure if it was ever made because I've never seen it for sale anywhere. I just assumed it was a pre-production photo and that it was never released. But here we go. So really pumped to add this one to my collection. It doesn't really have any tampo design, so it's kind of boring. It almost looks like it could just be a custom, like somebody painted it. But if you look at the bottom, you can tell the rivets look the same as all the other castings, and you can see the orange paint on the rivet itself, which is usually the way they are. And the rivets, it doesn't look any different than some of the other ones from that same time frame or era. I'll give you an example. Here's that Fuji film van, and you can see that the rivet looks the same, and it's got the body paint color on the rivet. So pretty sure this is an authentic one, and it's one I didn't have. And then here's another one that I've never even seen before. Also has stock looking untampered with rivets on the bottom with paint coming through. And this one is an all green one, kind of a emerald green, maybe with a little bit of metallic in it. No tampo design. And this is another version I did not have. So, very cool. Glad to add that one to the collection. I thought I was able to fit all of these in one jammer, but it turns out I'm not. With all these variations I just added, I'm going to have to get another, a bigger display case for these. So, let me just get this stuff out of the way, and then I'll show you my jammer with all my collection in it. Alright, well here's my jammer with my collection in it. Obviously the ones that have Hot Wheels logos on them are Hot Wheels releases. There's a black version and a blue version. If you notice on the two blue versions, one has a Dunlop graphic on the tampo, and one does not. So there's a tampo variation there. Here's the brand new Chuck E. Cheese I got with the little Chuck E. Cheese sticker on. This one doesn't have that. Fantastic. Got a base variation. The top one has more of a black metal base, and this one has like a more of a chrome metal base. It's not painted. It's almost just like a tint or like a black clear coat on it. Let's see what else. Here's a Coca-Cola Turbo Team Racing. The one on top has more of a blue windshield. The one on bottom is more of a black windshield or window on the Coca-Cola Vans. There's a Ferrari one that's fairly rare. There's a Police Tactical Force. New one in my collection because it's in better shape. I think you can see the stripe variation on that black one on the top right. One is more of a pink and one is more of a lavender. The top one is more of a pink and the one underneath is more of a lavender color. Then there's the can't remember now what the difference is between those two auto sports. Might be one's a plastic base, one's a metal base, I believe. And then there's a tampo variation on that number 15 Team Racing. If you look, one says Custom Van under the 15 and one says Goodyear. And then on top are the two just base color originals, one in like a reddish orange and one in like a aqua green. So that's my Corgi / Hot Wheels Hot Rod Custom Van collection. Hopefully you found it informational. Hopefully it wasn't too boring going through all this stuff. If you guys have any information or any comments, anything to add, feel free to do that down below. I appreciate you watching. If you found the video informational and enjoyed it, give me a like or a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. I'd also really appreciate subscribe on my channel. And check out my Facebook page, That Van Guy. And check out me on Instagram. I'm that_diecast_van_guy on Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day.